A good night of Shabbos to everyone. Shabbos mevorchim, Chodesh Elul. Anila doidi v'doidi li, I am to my beloved is to me. Or as the famous Chassid Reb Avram Mayor used to say, ober l'chaim, vider l'chaim. Once l'chaim and again l'chaim. This week will be a mitzvah the Shloshim of our Mashpia, Harav HaChosed, Harav HaGoyin, HaTomim, Reb Yoel ben Reb Rafal Nachman HaKoyin Khan, Reb Yoel Khan. So, l'kvoidoi, I'd like to share another thought based on a story that I experienced with him. And this was about 10, 15 years ago. I don't recall exactly the year. And I went to the Empire Stiebel on Empire Boulevard off the corner of Brooklyn Avenue in Crown Heights, where Reb Yoel was asked to come to Fabrenk. And there was a nice crowd of people. The president of the shul at the time was a Yid by the name of Rabbi Mendel Bartfield. Mendel Bartfield, Reb Mendel. And I found out later that Reb Mendel was a good friend of Reb Yoel's from the early days in yeshiva in 1953, 54, those years. In fact, some told me that they were roommates at one point. Anyway, Reb Mendel was the president of Empire Stiebel, of the shul at that time. Reb Mendel was a very interesting person. He married one of Reb Tzemach Gerevich's daughters, Reb Yitzchak the Masmit's great-granddaughter. And Reb Mendel himself was Molei full of grace. Chen. You know, not everyone is Zoichet, not everyone merits to have grace. Grace means people enjoy talking with you. People enjoy being around you. You're fun. You're nice. You know, people are comfortable in your environment. It's a special bracha. We ask for it. Nesinas chen. May Hashem give us grace, that we find grace in people's eyes. Reb Mendel was such a Jew. Anyway, and that made him very right for his position as president of the shul. On one hand, you have to deal with, finances and structure and discipline to keep a shul moving and going. At the same time, you need to be liked by the people. And he fit that bill exactly, par excellence. Anyway, I was there to Fabrengen, 3:30 in the afternoon. We're still Fabrengen, Shabbos of Gimel Tammuz. And Reb Yoel turns to Reb Mendel and he says, Mendel, he doesn't call him Reb Mendel. He says, Mendel, wir kennen sich a lange Zeit. We know each other a long time. He says, Lass mir machen a shir zusammen. Let us make a shir. Let's learn together. Let's take some time and you and I will have a chavrusa, a study partnership where we'll learn together Chassidus. And I looked at Mendel and he was like all smiles. And he didn't respond. He didn't respond because this was the middle of Fabrengen, and Reb Yoel, who was his friend, but yet Reb Yoel Khan was the Rebbe's chayzer, the genius. And he didn't want to say a word. He didn't want to speak. He knew that when Reb Yoel speaks in the middle of Fabrengen, you just listen. And Reb Yoel said again to him, Mendel, let's learn together. And of course, Reb Yoel wanted Reb Mendel to learn more Chassidus. I don't know what happened. I don't know if they made a shir, they didn't make a shir. But I want to tell you the feelings that I had during those few moments of hearing two friends from the 1950s talk about it. And to me, it brought to life what Lubavitch is, what Chabad is. Lubavitch, the city of love. What I felt is, here's a Mendel Bartfield, a businessman, and here's a Yoel Khan, who's totally a chayzer, a mashpia, and totally not involved in business. He doesn't know what business is. It's not his world. And Reb Yoel, with a smile in his eye and a wink to the Mendel, he says, let's go back to the way we were in 1953, 54. We were yeshiva bacharim, and we had no worries whatsoever, and all we had to do was learn and fabring and be with the Rebbe and be with Chassidim. And he says to him, let us focus on this. And the way to do it, there's no way better to do it than having a shir in Chassidus. And Reb Mendel looks back at him, startled for a moment, perplexed, unprepared. And he takes it in. He takes it in. Because those moments were moments of genuinity, moments of sincerity, moments of truth. Those were moments where they weren't married yet. They didn't have that responsibility. They didn't have the responsibility of money. They only had one responsibility, to be in 770 and to learn and to daven and to fabring and to kibbutz and to joke. That was that's what I felt. So, going through life and marrying and having children and grandchildren, having family and friends, responsibilities and work, whether you're on shlichus, whether you're in business, makes no difference. It's all responsibilities. They would say about certain chassidim that even after they married, they retained the sincerity and honesty of the way they were before they married, while they were still in Tammuz in Lubavitch. Rabbi Yoel definitely was that way. There's not even a question about it. And I believe that he was sharing with Mendel, listen, if we make a share together, there'll be a little time in your life where you'll have more of that and you'll reflect more on that, because that is a place that's comfortable. Dr. Avram Tversky, Shalom, who passed on this year, once told me that he did with people hypnosis with many cancer patients. And he told me that he would see that when they were in a hypnotic state, he was able to bring them back to their childhood and to remember the way they grew up and the green fields and the nice mountains and the waters. And it brought them, during that time at least, healing from the pain of the machla, of the illness. By the way, the Rebbe wasn't for doing hypnosis, but that's another conversation, not for now. And to go back to our youth, to go back when we were students, to go back to Tammuz Mimim, Lubavitch, that's Chodesh Elul. Chodesh Elul for us, Lubavitchers and Chassidim Chabad, is a place of youthfulness. It's a place that's, I don't like the word fun, but we'll use the word fun, meaning kibbutzing, enjoying, experiencing, laughing, crying, saying l'chaim, being with the Rebbe, fabrengens. Rabbi say, Rabbi Yoel, whose Shloshim is this coming week, was such a yid. He was a yid that retained his youthfulness to the last day of his life. You could kibbutz with him, you could be serious with him, you could laugh with him, and you could cry with him. Believe me, plenty of times he was emotional when he spoke about the Rebbe, even before Gimel Tammuz, his kashrus. And there were plenty of times that he would just sit and could chat with you about whatever it was that he felt was important to you. So, b'schusa, in his chus, as we come to the Shloshim of such a yid, who was the chayzer of the Rebbe and the mashpia Rashi of 770, and a yid that taught hundreds of thousands of people to strengthen their emunah in HaKadosh Baruch Hu and in Torah. Kipshutai, literally. I've said this over and over, and I can't say it enough. Really. There was no one, I believe, in the entire world who strengthened more the emunah by any kind of yid that heard his tape, his CD, his DVD, his shiurim, his lectures, his fabrengens. He was about Torah, because the Rebbe was about Torah. Rabbi Yoel was inseparable from the Rebbe. That's all he had in his life, was the Rebbe. And the Rebbe is Torah, a walking, a living Torah. Rabbi Yoel was a walking, a living Torah. He had no gashmias, he didn't need gashmias, he didn't know from gashmias, he didn't want gashmias, physical material matter. It was all irrelevant to him. If it's important to the Rebbe, it becomes important to him. And this will, in upcoming videos, in Hashem, will explain more of different issues that rose throughout his life, which, by the way, I've documented, and the book is out. It's called Reb Yoel, the Rebbe's Chayzer. It's not expensive, and I really urge all of my listeners and viewers to buy the book. You go to my website, www.rabbidalfin.com. You scroll over there, you'll see the book, Reb Yoel. I have a special price on it now through the week for his Shloshim. So I encourage you to buy the book, and we'll send it out, Mitzvah Shem, end of next week, beginning the week after. You'll have it before the Yom Tovim. It's a 300-page book with 320 footnotes, 50 pictures and documents. Some are new. And it's worth the money, trust me. It's $40 in total right now as a sale price for the week. So order your copy because they're going very fast. The Eibusher should help that a schus of Reb Yoel Shloshim, with Tevis Nishmasai, we increase in the Avas Yisrael, the genuine Chabad heart, Lubavitch, ober Lubavitch, vider Lubavitch. That's a new one. Ober Lubavitch, at least for me it's new. Ober Lubavitch, vider. Once Lubavitch and again Lubavitch. You can't get away from Lubavitch. There are some that think they can get away from Lubavitch. You cannot. You can go one way or another way. You will come back to Lubavitch because that's your blood and essence. Well, the Eibusher should help, and it should be b'chesed u'barachamim, with kindness and mercy. And we shouldn't have to go through pain and agony till we return to Lubavitch, because Lubavitch is a place of beauty, a place of wholesomeness, a place of growth, a place of love. And the Eibusher will help that all of this will prepare us in Chodesh Elul for the Yom Neiroim, that everyone will have a ksiva v'chasim b'teiva, a shana teiva m'sukkah be written and inscribed in the book of life, the Alta Tzadikim. And we'll also have a shana teiva m'sukkah, as the Rebbe wishes everyone a good and sweet year, not only a good year, but a sweet year, because of mamish, through having good health, parnasa barchava, good livelihood, in a broad way, with lots of expansiveness. We'll have shidduchim tovim for those that need shidduchim. We'll have mazel and nachas, good mazel and nachas, Yiddish chassidish nachas with our children, and we'll be zeichet to see Malkeinu Bereishenu, our Rebbe, as we go towards Yerushalayim, with Mashiach Tzidkenu, B'karav Mamish, good Shabbos, good Chodesh, L'chaim, 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 Elul, ober L'chaim, vider L'chaim, ober Lubavitch, vider Lubavitch.